Thousands of Republican delegates will converge on New York City for their convention at the end of August, where they may come face-to-face with thousands of protesters. And that could be a recipe for trouble. So New York is bracing for a volatile mix of people and politics right smack in the middle of one of the world's most crowded and chaotic cities. Maria Hinojosa has a look at who the protesters are and what they want.
Billionaires for Bush.
More wars!
A brigade of mocking, talking, fire-breathing Bush haters.
We're going to get Halliburton and Bechtel in on the prison building.
United for Peace and Justice, which has drawn hundreds of thousands to march against the war. These are some of the many faces of a growing national movement, a motley, messy, driven mass of anti-Republican who are targeting the Republican National Convention with a highly coordinated organization of demonstrators from around the country.
There's a lot more anger now. We've had 4 years of wars that the administration has engineered. We've had 4 years of an economy that refuses to improve. We've had continued anger over the oppression of civil liberties.
Their headlong assault will be organized by veteran activists and union leaders from high-tech offices with professional websites. The marchers will have places to stay and eat and organize, even volunteer lawyers to keep them out of jail.
I think we need to bring protests back to what it used to be, where we were just out in the streets and we were doing our things and we weren't waiting for permission to organize.
On one end of the spectrum are these yippies with their yippie house and their 1960s peacenik ideology.
I'm Aaron Kay, the mad yippie pie thrower.
The Yippie Plan, a squatter city of protesters.
I'm the Republican National Convention party planner to make sure we have a good time that week.
You want to start?
Yes.
And there are the Billionaires for Bush, of every race, age, and ethnic background. In real life, they're professors, ad executives, doctors, and lawyers. They promise to flood the city sidewalks with sarcastic, anti-Republican street theater.
Bush and the Bush administration are playing a huge joke on the country and on the world. And so by calling them on that, but in a humorous way, it allows everybody to sort of acknowledge that we're being played and, in a sense, play back.
There are also newbies, like Josh Kimberg, who became an activist after September 11th and started an anti-Bush bike brigade. The massive march efforts dwarf those at the Philadelphia Republican Convention 4 years ago. That was nothing compared to what's planned this time. Now a fighting force has coalesced. Unionists and feminists and anti-globalists, Greens, people who hate the war, the Patriot Act, and the Republicans.
You might see a sit-down protest in front of the FBI offices in Manhattan. You might see a sit-down protest to shut down the Homeland Security office. You might see a sit-down protest in front of Madison Square Garden for people who really want to focus on Bush.
We're going to step off at 23rd Street and 8th Avenue and go right up past Madison Square Garden.
New York City recently denied the largest protest organizers a permit to rally in Central Park, saying they worry the Great Lawn could be damaged. That irked high-profile supporters like playwright Tony Kushner of Angels in America fame.
Tony, this way, Tony.
Kushner recently traded a day of hobnobbing with Hollywood glitterati for a protesters' press conference.
The city has had demonstrations since the dawn of time, and, you know, at least as long as I've been in New York, which is 1974, up until the 90s, demonstrations happened. They were orderly. They were not obstructed by police in this way. This is a new and very ugly chapter in New York's civic life.
But a chapter the police say was written for a post-9/11 stage.
We see our job as certainly securing the city, protecting the city from a terrorist event, but also facilitating free speech. And we will do everything we can to balance that.
At rncnotwelcome.org, planners are preparing for a tense relationship with the police.
The police can say what they want, and they can create this illusion that protester equals terrorist, or protester could equal terrorist, or that protester provides cover for terrorists. What we're trying to get out as much as we can is that that's not true, and that what you see on the streets is going to make it very obvious.
Even if what you see is organized, theatrical, and angry chaos.
Oh my God!
Thank you so much.
Maria Hinojosa with that story. So.